What is up everybody, we're back for another video. Now I know I said we were doing the manifold and everything, but that's going to be another video because I'm still waiting for parts. So today I am going to pull the headlights off the Evo, Cerakote the inside of one of the lenses because it's a little bit yellow. I'm going to paint the chrome parts of the insides of the headlights black and stick it all back together. Now you can't really see on camera, but this lens here is actually yellowed on the inside. It was yellow on the outside too, and I've already fixed that, but I can sort of see, you can't really see it, but it's actually yellow on the inside. And then this headlight over here, this one's actually in pristine condition, but we're still pulling them apart to paint the insides black because I prefer the look of the black headlights on the white cars. So I'm going to take the bumper off and then pick the camera up once we've done that. I am also going to use this too, just to get a little bit better quality, but I'm just nervous about using this with greasy hands and everything, so we'll see. Right, so this is the first time that I've ever taken the bumper off this car since I've owned it. The bumper is down here, so I thought maybe we could look at the front of the car together and so we can see what may or may not need to be done. Right, so obviously we're going to do the headlights. Looking at all this in here, it's not too bad. It's a little bit dirty, a little bit of rust starting. I'm going to polish these end tanks just so that they stick out a little bit more. I've got some aluminium polish for that. But looking around, it doesn't look like there's really any rust in the front, which is fantastic. There's a little bit of surface rust creeping in there. I'll grab the light. So there's little bits of surface rust just starting to creep in. I can fix that up. Nothing else looks too major though. I'm actually super stoked with that because I was worried there's going to be major rust through here. Looks all good in there. All the seams for the steel and the radiator support look good. A little bit of rust down in there. That down there is looking like, that down there looks like it could start to go, so I'll fix that up too. A little bit of rust up under there, surface rust. Right, so I'm actually super happy with that. I thought I was going to open that up and there'll be heaps of rust, and I was thinking maybe I'd have to replace a radiator support or anything, but generally speaking it looks really good. The only thing I'm probably going to do for now is chuck some fluid film on it. This stuff here will just stop oxygen from getting to the steel and corroding it further. And so I've just set up the big dog here, so I'm going to time lapse on this and let's rip these headlights out. Right, so the headlights are out, time to pull the housings out, but first I thought we'd just have a quick look and see, I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but this headlight here's the yellowed one. It's yellow on the inside of the housing. This one here definitely looks more chrome. I don't know if you can see that, but anyway, headlights are out. This here, what I'm going to do while I wait for the paint to dry is I'm going to go through, polish the end tanks on the intercooler, and then I'm going to get some cut and polish. I'm just going to cut and polish all this here because this here is actually just incredibly dirty. So I'm going to go through, clean all that. Any rust I'm going to try and touch up a little bit. Time to get the heat gun out, chuck the camera on time lapse and pull these housings apart. Well, there we have it. That is one lens taken apart. It's pretty tedious. You just got to work back and forth when you're using a heat gun. You can use an oven, but I've only ever done it this way. I've done this to a few sets of headlights now, so yes. Right, so headlight is taken apart. Now I'm going to pull this shroud out and paint it black. I've got some masking tape to mask everything off, and then I'm going to put everything in the boot of the car so that it doesn't get dust and crap on it while I'm working on everything and waiting for paint to dry. And the paint I'm going to be using for this is this hood bumper and trim paint. It's made for plastic and bits and pieces, so I thought I'd give this a try. We'll see what happens. If it doesn't end up being that good, we'll just try something else. Okay, so here we have the chrome piece from the inside of the car. Now I'm going to have a look online and see what people do here, because there's a few ways I can do this. I could just black the whole thing out, or I could mask these chrome cups off and then just paint this piece black, or I could black it up to this ring here. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do yet, so I might have a look at a few different photos, see what looks good and go from there. Okay, so I've done a little bit of looking online and I think I'm going to go for the Evo 8 MR headlight look. So there's what the Evo 8 MR headlights look like. So they've got the orange indicator at the bottom and then they've got like a little chrome piece at the top. So on here I'm just going to mask off this chrome piece at the top. I'm going to take this out, sand it all down and then start painting it. I'll do a time lapse when I'm painting it, probably not the masking because it's really boring, so see you in a second. I'm all masked up. I've gone through and sanded this down with 1500 grit sandpaper to make sure all the paint's going to stick, and then I wiped it off with some isopropyl alcohol. So now it's time to go give this thing some paint. Okay, so I've painted the inside of the headlight housing black. That's drying, but while that's drying I've just been cleaning this up here a little bit. It's probably hard to see and doesn't look that good, but I basically just kind of started cleaning the radiator support and all the other bits and pieces. Tried to polish the end tanks, but they're so oxidized it's not that easy. and I'm going to get a new one eventually anyway. But yeah, cleaned all this up. This here is what it looked like. I've still obviously got to keep going, but I feel like the paint's stained because it's really hard to get out. Anyway, that is looking good. Next. So here I've got the lens for the right hand side. Now as you can see, it's got all that hazing. That hazing's on the inside of the lens, so often you'll get that hazing on the outside and you can polish it off, but in this case I can't. So what I'm going to do, I think, is use this here. I think the first step in this is to wipe down the inside or the outside of the lens typically to remove any yellowing of the lens. So I'm thinking I might even be able to get away with just using this, wiping down the inside to get rid of the yellowing, and that might be all I need. And if that's the case, that'll be fantastic. So I'll chuck you on the big camera and let's get sorted. Okay, so I've just done the Cerakote now, and as you can see, it hasn't really worked, so I'm not sure if that's on the inside or the outside. I've sanded the outside and now I've sanded the inside, so maybe I need new headlights. Wasn't super happy with the Cerakote's great itself, but I was hoping it'd get rid of all that hazing on the inside of the lens, and it didn't, so I think I'm just going to buy a new headlight to sort that out. But the black housing is all done, as you can see, and so if I compare that to the other side, and the chrome one on the other side, I definitely like the look of the black over the chrome. So that's the chrome, and that's the black. Yeah, definitely love the black way more. So happy with the housing, not happy with the lens. I might give it another crack on the outside with the Cerakote. I used Maguire's headlight restoration last time, so maybe the Cerakote will fix the outside of this headlight, but it's just strange that this headlight's shit and the other one's really good. The other thing is, I don't know if I should paint the aluminium shroud in here black as well. I'm on the fence about it. I painted the mesh because the mesh was all peeling, which looks way better. So we'll see. I'm not sure. Anyways, so I'm going to get cracking on with the other headlight. I'm not going to show you that because it's just the same thing done again. The reason I only did one at a time is because I wanted to see the difference between the two. So looks like headlight number 2 needs to come apart, and I will give you another update once I've finished everything and got the whole car back together. So see you soon. Right, so it is the next morning, but I did finish the headlights off last night. They came out amazing. I'm super happy with them, and I just think they look so much better than the ricey chrome look. I can't do it. Anyway, this is what they look like. So this here is still a little bit cloudy, the lens on it, and this one here came out perfectly. So as I said earlier, I left the orange indicator and I masked off this whole area, so it basically looks like the MR headlight. Some people actually black this out too, but I wanted to keep some contrast, so there you have it. So in terms of this headlight, I think what I'm going to do is just keep hunting online for a right hand side tail light that is maybe got some damage to it, and that way I can just pull off the lens, hopefully a clear lens, and just swap the lenses over. Probably the cheapest, easiest way to go, because this lens is definitely stuffed. I'm not entirely sure what's happened here. I'm thinking maybe that this headlight deteriorated so much that they replaced it, because there's no damage anywhere like it's been crashed, so I don't think it's been replaced because of a crash. Anyway, what do you reckon? I think it looks 10 times better. Just makes the front of the car look so much more aggressive. So I'm going to get a black front lip to stick on this as well. Probably going to get a Dulux style front lip. I would like to get a carbon fiber lip, but let's face it, I live in a paddock. So yeah, I think the Dulux front lip's going to be the main thing that's going to set off the front, and that'll be finished for now. Something else I do need to do, and I've been thinking about it more and more. This does have the Bilsteins in it, but as you can see, we're a bit high in the front, and the back could do with some lowering as well. So what I'm thinking of doing is probably just getting a lowering kit that's going to, so springs for the front and rear, it'll drop the front 3.5 centimeters, and I think it drops the rear about 1 centimeter. So if we have a look up close, so 1 centimeter in the rear will get the arch pretty close to the top of the tyre, which I think will be good, and at the front 3.5 centimeters, which is around 1 inch. That'll get us, you know, it'll get us pretty close to the top of the tyre, and I think that's probably all I can do at the moment, just because I live in a gnarly driveway. I'll show you. So none of this is mine, none of that's mine. That shed there's full of all sorts of old school cars, Mustangs and BMWs and things. That's my driveway, so I've got to get over this, and you can't see it on video, but there's actually a big hump here that I have to get over, and then the rest of it's fine. But let's not forget, the Mitsubishi Evo is a rally car, so I do put it in gravel mode and hit boost on that driveway. So if I lower it, I'm not going to be able to do that, but you know, sometimes you need the aesthetics. Just think if this thing's lowered, it's going to look just that little bit better. Alrighty, so that is the end of the video. If you did like watching this video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything else. I've got a few things planned still. Obviously I've got to fix the rust in the rear of the car, which I'll give an update on soon, because I talked to Mitsubishi yesterday about that. What else? So still going to do the exhaust manifold and take out the turbo and inspect all that stuff, put all titanium hardware, put it back together, and the next video will probably be me pulling out the front suspension and replacing the top hats because they're stuffed, and yeah, giving them a bit of a paint too, the struts that is. So thank you for watching, and you will see me in the next video.